As someone who has played video games for effectively his whole life, I would think I have some sort of say in how bad modern gaming has become. But, it also could be an age problem, and I could just be not with the times like some old man. I just wanted to talk about, like, the things I think that have started becoming problems in modern gaming, like the games, the community, and the content within those games. And before I get started, I just want to say don't take this seriously. Even though there's some aspects of this that do genuinely make gaming worse, actively, like, you can like these games still. It doesn't really matter. And at the end of the day, like, despite my tone, the way I'm talking about this, it isn't as serious as my tone might make it out to be. It is just about video games after all. That being said, the games I want to talk about right now are games that are either like super high in space or are like copy and paste bars of other games in that series. Another game I also wanted to like mention were games that are kind of just like pushing out games for the sake of pushing out games. That one kind of just like ties into the copy and paste category. So you're not going to see me mention that much, but I will mention it once or twice. So talking about the copy and paste category, I'm going to be saying every sports game made by EA and Black Ops 7, so not really a series there. But the reason I say EA is, like, even though it's a sports game and they can't really change much, especially since it's supposed to be remaining loyal to the rules of that sports game, it's still a copy and paste one way or the other, just adding other characters and music. But I am to understand that people dislike the microtransactions more than the copy and paste aspect, so I'm probably going to be talking about that later. And then when it comes to Black Ops 7, I'm to understand, like, from what I researched for the little bit of time that I did, that Black Ops 7 is kind of just a rehash of Black Ops 6. Like, as far as I know, Black Ops 7 hasn't added anything new. And a part of like this other category of pushing games out for the sake of pushing games out, this one I'd be saying the Black Ops series. Because as far as I'm aware, Black Ops 3 was the last liked game in the series, and the series started falling off at Black Ops 4. So that would be about like 11 years of games that the community did not really like. Now, if you liked Black Ops 6, the one that came before 7, in case you guys didn't know, then I guess that number would be lower, but that's still going to be a long time without a game that you would have liked. And so now we're going to be talking about games that take an absurd amount of storage space. Now, the thing is with that, the range I'm going here is just kind of within 90 and 100 gigabytes. Like, my personal range is like anything after like 60 or 70 gigabytes, but I want to talk about the ones that are more problematic. Like the games that are such high in space that it would warrant you buying a new external hard drive. We're going to be starting off with Call of Duty again. Now, I'm not sure when this all started. Like, I don't know when the storage space got this high, but at least for Black Ops 7, it takes about 100 gigabytes on PS5. So, I couldn't tell you if there's any other games like that, but I do know that Call of Duty more recently, at least like the past couple of years, have been like notorious for taking up storage space and like having such like god awful updates that take so much more storage space to download. But yeah, that sucks. And then we got Ark. Even if you justify Survival Evolved for its high storage space by saying it's the first Ark game they made and it's also like super old, that doesn't justify Ark Survival Ascended, which as far as I know was supposed to be like the fix-it problem to Survival Evolved. And yet, it looks like the same exact game, and it takes even more storage now. Like, last I checked, I could not tell you what it, like, takes right now. Ark Survival Evolved was in the 90s, and Ark Survival Ascended is at least in the 110s. And I also wanted to include Marvel Rivals, even though it wasn't really in the range I specified. I thought I'd at least check, because whatever, and I thought I'd compare it to Overwatch because I thought Overwatch was a lot less, but it turns out Overwatch is a 90 gigabytes minimum to download. So even if you wanted to say that Marvel Rivals is just a poor copy of Overwatch and would have never lasted as long as it has if it wasn't for the Marvel characters, then I still wouldn't be getting Overwatch for an extra 40 gigabytes, almost an entire like second copy of Marvel Rivals stacked on top of the first Marvel Rivals. Next, we're going to be talking about the content of these games. Now, one of the things I can't defend Marvel Rivals from are the accusations of being made for gooners, because more recently they started changing the player models of the women to be a little more extra for the skins they've added. So I'm not sure what that's all about. But even if we ignored that for some reason, if we looked at the trailer for Season 7, their most recent season, you'll see a frame of Black Cat. And all I can say is they did that on purpose, because I don't see a single way or reason Black Cat would ever pose like that. It's just so, it's almost blatantly obvious. Fortnite is also going to be a game we talk about for different reasons than Marvel Rivals, because of the collabs and the game modes they've been adding ever since Chapter 5 about 3 years ago. Now, ignoring all the other problems they're going through, all the collabs and like all this other stuff they've done by just spending money, more money than they can even make back, it's definitely started the game's gradual decline. Even ignoring all that, and even like going as far back as to say Chapter 2 was when it's all started, because that's when they collabed with Travis Scott, and that's kind of the calamity when it all started. Even if you check my channel, you'll see a couple of videos of me talking about how the game just doesn't feel like right anymore, like how it's been giving me so much problems. And I guess that you could say that was some kind of omen, perhaps. Perhaps you guys should listen to me more often. Now we'll be talking about the microtransactions, and while I don't necessarily mind, because a lot of these free games need a way to fund for their company, and even some of the ones you pay for need some way to fund for their company, it's games like Clash Royale and their troops you can buy, and Minecraft and their add-ons that you can buy that kind of irk me. I don't mind so much the cosmetics and like battle passes or whatever. But when it comes to like Clash Royale and you can buy troops for like $10 USD, like champion cards for $10, you could be in the same rank as a newbie and yet have like max level cards, and it's just completely unfair and like feels kind of hopeless for the new guy. And when it comes to Minecraft add-ons, one guy I'm specifically going to mention here is Evident, who like does these reviews of Minecraft add-ons. So this is the whole reason I added this in the first place. Go watch him, even though you've definitely seen him if you're seeing me. But he's done this one where there was a Minecraft add-on for a Lucky Block category, and the map just sucked, and there was like, you got no frames, the Lucky Block had such a long animation, and they were just kind of basic loot. You couldn't craft them, it was just like a map. It just kind of sucked. And the fact is, like, PC players can get these add-ons for free, and they're going to be better than the ones you get on the marketplace. So you kind of, like, for console players or whoever can't access mods on Bedrock, are kind of like gambling with whether or not an add-on they get is good. Even I've had this sort of thing. Like, I got the Sonic World add-on and the Dragon Ball add-on. I liked having the skins, but the add-ons themselves weren't all that good. They weren't well like optimized at all. Next we'll be kind of like connecting off of that to the social media category. Now, when it comes to social media, I don't totally mind. After all, like, the games get free publicity from these content creators. The problem kind of starts when like the content creators start doing more with their fame, I guess. But it's like, when I say that, I specifically mean they start influencing things, like what games people play. Specifically, like, if we went with Minecraft, they'd be influencing what mobs they vote for. Dream, cough, cough. And it's just like, they have a somewhat unhealthy influence over their fans. And sure, it's the fans' fault, but the content creators still remain the root cause. Like, when it comes to like the more unhealthy influence, I'm not talking about review channels here, but content creators who give their reviews of games, like either after playing, like usually after playing the game, they tend to overreact sometimes to certain things just because it gets them more views. Like, for example, Forspoken was a game that a lot of people hated because of, like, the only thing I could find was the fact that they didn't like the dialogue, or what people would call a bland open world. Which, when I played the game, the open world didn't seem all that bad for starters. I didn't really like the dialogue. I didn't really care. But at the same, like, the game was really fun. I actually loved playing it. Like, there was the gameplay options, like you could switch whatever mode you're in and you can just like fight in different ways. You got the parkour. It made the game a lot of fun. So I don't know why a lot of people let people dictate whether or not they played the game just because they said this dialogue is so cringe. I just kind of hope that fans one day stop relying on like their favorite streamers or content creators' opinion on a game in order for them to like dictate what their opinion is on said game. Now we're going to be talking about communities, and I'm sure you're already thinking that we've been talking about that with the social media and content creators talk, but this one's going to be a little bit different. See, with Marvel Rivals, I'm going to be using a lot of these games as references because just I play them a lot. There's a whole situation with a guy named Capone, and now that situation's kind of been over, but ever since then, you've got a lot of people becoming incels because of it, blaming women and whatever, and then you got a lot of people going like, your support main, your like opinions invalid. They're talking about which class is like easier than the other, which one takes more skill, which one deserves more recognition. Now, it could very well be just a really loud portion of that community and not the majority, but it's still really like not good. Every time I play Marvel Rivals, the only way I'm able to enjoy it is if I like go into a party so I don't have to hear the in-game chat and just like try to ignore it. But even then, every time I play it, I feel utter despair when I start playing Marvel Rivals. Now, moving on from the in-game, every like game has their own like dedicated Discord. So in these discords, you can either talk to people with the same interest because you both like this game, or you can go into their LFG or looking for group and see if you can find a group to play with. So the main problem here is that I'm in a few of these, and I found that just talking to people with the same interest is so much more easy than trying to actually like find people to play with. Because every time I look at the looking for group page, I find that there's a lot of people requesting a team, but no one ever actually replying to each other. Now, it isn't like it's limited. I see people replying to it from time to time. It's just that for some reason no one does. And I've made a few of these posts, and it's not even like people are DMing each other because I don't even get any DMs either. Well, like few and far between still. So either everyone hates me or it just genuinely doesn't happen. That being said, I just think that like a lot of people for some reason think they're special in that they think everyone should join their looking for a group instead of them joining someone else's. And I don't really understand why this is the case, but I think people need to realize that they're not the only people playing. Or like I feel like a lot of people are just really uptight for no reason. That's about all I got for the problems I have with modern gaming. I tried to keep this as short as possible because I had to rewrite this script a bunch of times, and even then I still freestyled it, kind of. So, either way, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know by hitting those buttons. I don't like saying it. And if you want, comment, tell me something like how much you hated the video. Tell me if there's a game on here that you thought shouldn't be added. Like, I don't know, if you like Black Ops that much, then yeah, sure, go ahead. All is fine. All is fair. And let me know if you want like more content like this in terms of like long form kind of ironically review type. I'm not trying to be like some. I don't listen to half of the stuff I say. I don't want to be part of that group where you're listening to content creators tell you what games to buy. I'm just kind of here to talk about stuff. After all, that's just all I'm really here for anyway. But anyways, that's about it. I spent a long time talking. I need to drink some water. So I'll see you later.